Mansa Musa, the king who turned gold into legend in the year 1324, something impossible happened. In the busiest markets of Cairo, gold suddenly became common. Too common. Merchants lowered prices. Traders began to panic. Money changers struggled to keep up. For the first time in recorded history, gold, the world's most valuable metal, collapsed in worth not because of war, not because of discoveries, but because one single man gave away too much of it. That man was a king from West Africa, a Muslim ruler cloaked in silk and humility, riding through the desert with tens of thousands behind him. His name was Mansa Musa, and history would never recover from his generosity. Long before Europe rose to global power, while medieval kingdoms fought over small territories, a vast empire flourished beneath the burning sun of West Africa, the Mali Empire. Stretching across what are now Mali, Senegal, Guinea, Niger, and beyond, this empire controlled two things more precious than armies: gold and salt, the lifeblood of medieval trade. Mali sat atop nearly half the world's known gold supply. Caravans traveled thousands of miles to reach its cities. Huge camel trains crossed the Sahara Desert carrying slabs of salt northward, returning loaded with gold, cloth, medicine, weapons, books, and rare spices. At the heart of this trade network rose powerful cities: Gao, a thriving commercial port; Timbuktu, a growing university center; Jen, a marketplace that never slept, and ruling over all of them was the Mansa, the emperor. His name was Musa. Musa originally was not the chosen heir. Mali's true king, Abu Bakr Roman II, became obsessed with a strange idea: that land existed beyond the Atlantic Ocean. He believed Africa could not be the edge of the world. So he did something extraordinary. He built hundreds of ships and launched an expedition into the ocean, and never returned. With no king left alive, the throne passed to his deputy Musa, and from that unexpected moment, history changed direction. Musa ascended not as a conqueror but as a deeply religious man, a devoted Muslim, educated in Islamic law and humility. Yet beneath that calm spirit was a ruler of unimaginable power. When the crown touched his head, Mali became the richest empire on earth. Historians have tried and failed to calculate Mansa Musa's wealth. Accounts speak of gold reserves so massive they exceeded modern billionaire fortunes even when combined. He owned vast gold mines, salt trade monopolies, tribute from conquered states, taxes from cities, and trade routes. Caravan fleets numbering tens of thousands. Gold flowed into Mali faster than anywhere on earth. But Mansa Musa lived modestly by royal standards, preferring prayer, scholarship, and philanthropy over luxury. And his greatest ambition was not to conquer nations, but to complete the sacred journey of faith, Hajj, the pilgrimage to Makkah. In 1324, Mansa Musa announced his pilgrimage. The preparations took years. When he finally departed, history watched in disbelief. He traveled with 60,000 people, 12,000 slaves, armed and dressed in silk, 80 camels, each carrying 130 kg of gold dust, royal guards, musicians, scholars, and architects, hundreds of imams and teachers. It was more than a pilgrimage, it was a walking empire. Every camp became a city overnight. Every town they passed fell silent. The desert itself could not swallow the sound of their march. As Musa entered Egypt, the wealthiest nation of the Islamic world, his generosity erupted. He gifted gold to the poor, gold to religious leaders, gold to merchants, gold to rulers, gold to anyone who asked. He paid hotel owners, vendors, camel traders, all in gold. His servants flung coins into the crowds. Even beggars walked away loaded with wealth. But Cairo soon began to suffer. Gold flooded the economy so suddenly that prices collapsed. Merchants lost profits. Inflation soared. For the next 10 years, Egyptian markets struggled to recover. One man's generosity had crushed regional economies, and Mansa Musa realized what he had done. In a rare twist of humility, the richest man alive borrowed gold back from Cairo's money changers to stabilize the markets, paying massive interest. Even borrowing could not stem the damage. Still, his generosity never stopped. Musa's true goal was never to display wealth but to bring learning to Mali. In Makkah and Cairo, he recruited mathematicians, doctors, religious scholars, engineers, architects. He paid them fortunes to follow him home. One master architect, Abu Ishaq al-Sahili, redesigned Mali's cities. They built libraries, universities, palaces, schools, grand mosques. The crown jewel was the Jingraba Mosque of Timbuktu, a structure still standing today. Under Musa's rule, Timbuktu became the intellectual capital of Africa. Its universities housed up to 25,000 students. Its libraries stored more manuscripts than any city outside Baghdad. Books became more valuable than gold. Musa did not rule through terror. Trade flourished because roads were protected. Caravan routes were guarded. Thieves were punished severely. Farmers prospered. Scholars were funded. Islam spread peacefully. His kingdom became so stable that merchants traveled unarmed, undefeated by bandits for decades. In 1337, Mansa Musa died quietly. He left behind wealth beyond comprehension, but no equal successor. Rival clans fought, former tributary states rebelled, foreign powers encroached. Within decades Mali weakened. Yet Timbuktu's universities continued for centuries, and the legend of Mansa Musa grew even as his empire faded. European cartographers drew maps showing a dark-skinned king holding gold coins, Rex Mansa Musa. No European monarch ever appeared more powerful on medieval maps. Modern economists have tried to quantify his fortune. Their final conclusion: it is literally unmeasurable, not billions, not trillions, too vast to calculate. There are not even stable conversion systems to translate his control of world gold supply into modern currency. He remains the wealthiest human being who ever lived, but Musa's greatness was not gold, it was giving without pride, education over luxury, faith over ego, culture over conquest. He used wealth to lift minds, not crush enemies. Most kings are remembered for battles. Mansa Musa is remembered for building knowledge. Today, the manuscripts of Timbuktu still breathe with ancient wisdom. Mosques he built still stand beneath African skies. And the story of one humble king still echoes. Cities trembled, markets collapsed. Yet one man changed history without lifting a sword. His pilgrims walked not with weapons, but with generosity. He conquered not nations, but ignorance, and to this day, no ruler, no billionaire, no empire has ever risen to his level of wealth, or his greatness.